Good evening, my YouTube family and friends. I'm just reaching out right now to make sure everyone is okay, that all is going well where you are, whether it is relationships with your children, a spouse, a friend, families. Um, I'm just praying and hoping and lifting everyone up at this moment. I know some of you are out there needing someone to listen to you for whatever it is that you need someone to listen to. And tonight I just wanted to talk a little bit about bad listeners. Oftentimes, we're talking to people and we are we are hoping that they're listening to us. As I said often, the whispers, a lot of things we miss often, they were in the whispers. And because some of us, we only hear things, we're not listening. We only hear it because it's loud enough to be heard. But there's a difference in listening and just hearing. So tonight I say, who or what is bad listening? Who is a bad listener? And we have to understand that bad listeners will not hear the message in the stories. Bad listeners are not emotionally available when you need them. Bad listeners cannot hear when people talk. And so if you're in a relationship and you don't have a good listener, then that bad listener cannot hear. You cannot hear each other. Bad listeners are listeners who they constantly want to add to the story. They can't wait to say something. They're not listening to you. They're just waiting for you to take a breath so they can tell their part. Bad listeners cannot connect. They cannot connect because they're not hearing when you try to talk to them. So tonight I'm just asking that we change that and that we become good listeners. Good listeners creates a good connection, because if I know you that you're there when I need you, that you listen to me, sometimes we don't need answers. Sometimes we just need someone to just listen to us. And so, if we want to connect with the people in our lives who sometimes they are not sure themselves because there's no listening going on, if we want to connect to them, then we should stop for a moment and start being good listeners instead of bad listeners. Let us start connecting emotionally to each other. Let us be there when they need us. Let us listen to the whispers, because in those whispers, a lot of times is where meaningful thoughts come out. Let us connect with one another. Let us be effective listeners so that we can hear the cries for help. We can hear the love and the appreciations. We can hear all those little things that we do not hear often because we're bad listeners. Let us stop for a minute. Let us talk less and listen more. And not just hearing, but listening for those moments of I so appreciate you. You're so totally filled with awesomeness. You're so filled with greatness. Let us hear those words when they're spoken, because we are good listeners. Let us stop the arguing and the cussing and the unnecessary noises and try to hear in the whisper, I thank you, I appreciate you. Let us stop for a minute and explain to someone that it hurts when you say this, or it hurt when you said that, and I wish you said something better, or I wish you learned to appreciate me more. Let us understand that people will appreciate us in different forms. Not everyone has the words in their mouths to speak those eloquent words, but when they do say thank you, let us say, understand that it should mean a whole lot. So tonight I'm just reaching out and just saying to us, let us be better listeners. Let us not be bad listeners. Let us not just be waiting for the break so we can start talking about us, but let us be good listeners so that we'll give people that chance to come back if they need you again because you have made those connections. So tonight I say, as we travel onward and upward, that we will listen to the whispers so that we can hear those beautiful sounds, the sounds of laughter, the sounds of thank yous, the sounds of appreciation, the sounds of I'm sorry, the sounds of please and thank you. Let us be good listeners so we can hear those beautiful sounds. So, my